Just imagine, you're typing a message into your phone and it suggests not just the next word, but the next sentence, or the next complete email, or even a brilliant idea that you would never have come up with yourself. Sounds like science fiction? Well, welcome to the present. Because that, and so much more, is the world of large language models. Today, we're going to take a look behind the scenes of this technology that is in the process of completely turning our world upside down. And don't worry, you don't need a PhD in computer science to understand this. We'll break it down very simply. Promised. So, what the hell is a large language model? Let's first clarify this tongue twister of a term. Let's break it down into its three parts. Large, language, model. Let's start with large. And when I say large, I don't mean large like an elephant. I mean large like a planet. These models are trained with a simply unimaginable amount of text from the internet. We're talking about pretty much everything that has ever been written digitally. Wikipedia, books, news articles, blog posts, social media discussions. Everything. This huge amount of data is the breeding ground from which the AI draws its knowledge. And not only is the amount of data gigantic, the AI itself, the neural network behind it, is also huge and consists of billions of connections, similar to the neurons in our brain. The second part, language. This is the special field of these AIs. They are trained to understand and generate human language in all its facets. Grammar, style, context, irony, even emotions in texts. They learn to recognize and imitate all of this. It's not just about individual words, but about the connection, the meaning that lies between the lines. And the third part, model. In the world of artificial intelligence, a model is something like a simplified digital replica of a system. In this case, it is a model of human language. Through training, the AI has learned to recognize the patterns, rules, and probabilities in our language. It has created a statistical model of how we humans communicate. In summary, a large language model is a gigantic AI system that has been trained on an incredible amount of data to learn and apply the patterns and rules of human language. But how exactly does that work? How can a machine truly understand? The simplest and perhaps best analogy for it is this. An LLM is like autocomplete on super-steroids. You know it from your smartphone. You type, "I wish you a nice," and it suggests day. Why? Because it has learned from countless messages that after this word combination, day is very, very likely to come. A large language model does basically the exact same thing, but on a completely insane level. It doesn't just look at the last few words, but the entire context, the whole paragraph, the whole article, the whole conversation. And then it calculates with incredible precision which word, which sentence, or which thought is most likely to come next. It is a master of probability calculation, a soothsayer for words. It generates text by repeatedly predicting the most fitting next word, thus creating whole, meaningful, and often surprisingly creative texts. But, and this is a very important but, we also have to understand what these models are not. An LLM has no consciousness. It doesn't think the way we think. It feels nothing. If you tell an AI that you are sad and it writes you a compassionate response, it doesn't do it because it feels pity. It does it because it has learned from billions of texts that such a response is, statistically, the most appropriate reaction to a sad message. It is an incredibly complex simulation of understanding and empathy, but it is a simulation. There are no lights on in there, no ghost in the machine. You might be thinking now, okay, interesting technology, but where do I encounter this in everyday life? The answer is, probably more often than you think. If you type a complex question into a search engine today and get a direct, fully formed answer instead of just a list of links, then a large language model is often working in the background. When you talk to a customer service chatbot on a website and it actually helps you instead of driving you crazy with standard answers, then there's a high probability that an LLM is behind it. Modern translation apps that no longer translate word for word but capture the meaning and nuances of a sentence. Yep, LLMs. Email programs that give you complete suggested replies? Exactly. Tools that write code, compose poems, or draft marketing text for you? You guessed it. This technology is currently seeping into every corner of our digital lives, and it's just getting started. We are on the threshold of a new era in which the way we interact with machines is being fundamentally redefined. It's fascinating, a little scary, and above all, one thing, incredibly exciting. If you liked this little glimpse into the world of artificial intelligence and you now understand a little better what's behind all the hype, then I would be thrilled to get a thumbs up for this video. And if you don't want to miss any more journeys of discovery into the world of technology in the future, then feel free to leave a subscription. It costs you nothing and helps us immensely. Until next time.